Russia is wonderful. It's absolutely amazing. And it's quite clear to me that Moscow is the premier
Wonderful.
city, capital city in the world,
Of the world.
far greater than any other city, and I know them all.
Hi guys, good evening. Welcome to the channel. Great to see you again. Thanks for stopping by. I've got a really interesting video today. It's from, believe it or not, it's a video of Errol Musk's recent visit to Moscow, or to Russia. Moscow, and it's quite interesting. He seems to be hopping around the world as Errol Musk, and enlightening us a little bit. I don't know whether it's good for Elon or bad for Elon. I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether, obviously, Musk is having this recent spat with President Trump. I'm not sure really how this will play out in America, and whether things can be fired back to Trump. Obviously, Elon's left the administration now, so I guess the connection's slightly broken. But obviously, he's a bit of a loose cannon, is old Errol. It seems to be. He's out there. He seems to be hopping around the world. I wonder how much he's got in air miles, because he seems to be everywhere. He's in the UK recently. Now he's in Russia. I know he's in America in April. But he's an interesting fella. And quite a good, quite a good speaker. Seems to have a little bit of an inside track. I'm not so sure he's speaking to Elon every day, but purports to have an inside track, and I think he's quite enjoying the limelight of everybody wanting to speak to him. I think obviously the left-wing media sort of tend to have him on because they want him to drop everybody in it. They want him to put his foot in it and embarrass everybody, obviously, especially when Elon was involved with Doge more so. But I guess he's not so much now, he's having left. But so he gets asked a few questions here about the spat between Trump and Elon, but also tends to. I mean, he's his own man, and he's got his own thoughts on Russia and whatnot. And I know a lot of people think the same. But he has some very nice things to say about Putin and Russia. So it's worth a listen for that. And I don't know how this will play in Washington or whatnot with obviously the war that's going on at the moment. It'll be interesting to see if there's any comments come from this. But anyway, without further ado, let's have a look at it.
First time in Russia, I'm completely amazed. I don't know why I haven't been here before. I think the image that people give to us in the West of Russia is completely wrong. Russia is wonderful. It's absolutely amazing. And it's quite clear to me that Moscow is the premier
Wonderful.
city, capital city in the world,
Of the world.
far greater than any other city, and I know them all. Elon is standing on principles. He wants to cut the budget into a situation that they save money instead of waste or spend more money than they have. And he was told that his role would be just that. But when he was presented with a budget that in no way represented savings, he stood by his principles and said, I'm not prepared to support this.
That's very true.
This is wrong. And so therefore I stand by my son. On the other hand, in politics, there is give and take. So you can't always get everything perfect because you have to deal with all sorts of people, all sorts of problems. So the answer is, in politics, to try and explain to someone new to politics, it's 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. That's how you go. And I'm pretty sure that soon things will be back to normal in America. Elon is not a political, he's a tech person. He likes to work with people who are all, the very best of the group and the smartest people and so forth, so that he can get things done as best, as quickly as possible and as best as possible. In the world of politics, unfortunately, you have to deal with all the people. So you have to, as a leader, I was told this by the Prime Minister of our country many years ago, you have to deal with people who are disabled. You have to deal with people who are not that smart. You have to deal with people who are pretty dumb. And you have to deal with people who are very smart. So they all belong. There's no one who doesn't belong. And in politics, if you get into the world of politics, you have to understand that. You have to lead everybody.
Not so sure why he
not
threw
just
the
A
disabled
group.
in there, but there we
And
go.
in that respect, Elon would have a certain amount to learn, you know, as has happened now with this new bill, where he wants it in one specific direction, and it's not always possible to do that. Yeah, Russia has been the leader for a long time, and my son took over the work that I suppose you were doing, because to a large extent, even America seemed to have got tired of it, and so he took it on his shoulders to start his own, you know, space exploration company. I was one of the first 9 employees, and today it's the premier launch facility in the world. So yes, but it all started with the Russian attempts, you know, long ago, which were quite amazing. I grew up with Sputnik, and it's just wonderful to remember all those things. Yeah, no, Russia has been a big player, is still a big player. Well, I think he's a very impressive man. You know, he's proved that. A very stable, impressive man. That's all I can say. As for the perception of Russia outside of Russia, it's very wrong. I was coming here with my daughter, Alexandra. She was on her way here from Dubai a couple of days ago. And my sons actually told her she must not go to Russia. So the perception in America by the media, I would call it the fake media, or whatever it is that Russia is a very bad place, and it's full of very bad people, and they are all going to kill you if you come here, which is complete nonsense.
So there we go. It was quite an interesting interview. He's a bit of a loose cannon, and but I mean, fair, he's his own man. He's allowed to do what he wants to do. You know, he's not part of the government, but I guess when you're connected to such an important, well, the richest man in the world, who's been in government, and we've got a war on with Russia and Ukraine, and America are funding it. It's an interesting. It's an interesting situation, really, and I guess, you know, people might say that Putin exploits people like this to push Russian propaganda. Now, I don't know if that's what you feel. Maybe put in the comments if you feel that way. You know, let me know if you think that this is something. You know, Errol Musk is a little bit, you know. He puts himself out there to be sort of used a little bit like this, and you know, maybe, you know, he's been asked to say a few nice words about, I don't know, about Putin, but I guess that's what the media will say in the West and the EU, and probably don't. I mean, they tend to not like this guy anyway. To be honest, he's not woke. He's a proper man, proper, you know, sort of alpha male type. He's not into DEI and woke and all that sort of thing. So they don't tend to like him very much anyway. They just like him they like to have him on, so he'll probably embarrass Elon and Trump. That's what they tend to do. But anyway, I thought it was really interesting to look at what Errol had to say whilst in Moscow around Russian journalists. And it could cause a few waves, possibly, you know, back in America and across Europe. Anyway, thanks very much. Thanks for watching this latest video. Hope to see you back again. Please subscribe if you don't mind. It really helps the channel. And I will see you on the next video.